Hi guys. Yes, this is the Peugeot 5008, but you will not be able to tell because the entire frontal cabin is identical to the 3008. So mechanically, both cars are absolutely identical. You can call the 5008 a long wheelbase version of the 3008, but I would call it the 3008 you should buy, because engine is the same, gearbox is the same, the car drives the same, but you get the extra 2 seats at the back. Does it feel slightly different? Yes, because the wheelbase is slightly longer, and yeah, you feel more stuff's going on behind, but that's about it. Other than that, there's not much of a difference. I love Peugeot's steering wheel. It's very tiny and it's almost an oval shape, or octagon or whatever. Basically, it's not round, it's very small, and it works really well in Peugeot's small cars, but this is a big one. So in this car, I feel as if there's a lot of space around me, from my thighs to the steering wheel, from the steering wheel to my door panels. I felt there is a lot of space because the steering wheel is just so small. So in terms of equipment, I can already tell this car has lane departure because it keeps beeping as I was driving the back roads just now. And wow, the steering wheel is really small. I need to get used to it. The car's quiet, same goes as the 3008. Suspension is decent, pretty good. Don't feel any bump stops or whatever. And the overall cabin ambience is now I'm not a linguist or whatever. Those of you who say it's ambience, sorry, I'll just pronounce it as it is. It's very nice, very futuristic. In terms of usability, there is a little bit of getting used to, because these toggle switches are not those that you found in Audi A4s, where you can toggle it up or down to immediately adjust what it says it does, but it's just a suggestion of what you're gonna do to the touchscreen. So you press this, you want to adjust music, and then you get to touch the screen after you touch that. So I find it a bit repetitive, but it's very easy to get used to. It's just that you feel like, hey, why do they do this? Why do they spend this extra money? Because they can, right? The French, when they like design, they will invest in it, they will do it. That's the French. Now this car is front wheel drive as well. There's no four wheel drive, but as we said in the 3008 videos, there is a very clever electronic, I can call it a traction control system that does more than traction control, because they have softwares inside that lets the car know whether you want to go through sand or even snow or off-road. So the car anticipates what you're gonna do with it and is programmed to be able to adjust accordingly. That is, of course, according to paper and what Peugeot wants us to believe. But like many experts will tell you, during snowy season in those countries, right, it's not exactly four-wheel drive that helps you move. You can have a two-wheel drive, but if you have the proper tires, means gaining traction. So it's all about traction. It's not about how many wheels are actually powered by the engine. So according to that logic, if this software is able to cleverly deliver traction and not letting it slip, it should be able to do what it is advertised to. So I think this is alright, because if you memang want a four-wheel drive system for normal roads, you don't achieve any purpose other than higher fuel consumption, right? And for those of you who felt that an SUV needs to have four-wheel drive, let me tell you this: why, when you drive your Honda City, your Honda Civic, you don't feel the need for four-wheel drive, all of a sudden when you are in a car that is taller, bigger, heavier, you feel the need for four-wheel drive? It's just a state of mind, it's just perception. You don't need four-wheel drive if you don't go off-road. Alright, so I think this is a very, very good car. I mean, I've always loved the 3008. This new 3008 when it came out, it drives well. It has a cabin that is absolutely fantastic to look at. In fact, I think I laugh at Audi R8's cabin over this. You know, I kept saying this fits the Audi R8 perfectly because it's a cabin for a sports car. So given that it drives the same as the 3008, I think this is actually my pick when it comes to mid-size SUVs because of the two seats at the back. Yes, I don't need to use it often, but like everything that we buy is good to have it when we need it. So I will buy this over the 3008 and pay the extra money. I will also buy this pretty much over most of the mid-size SUVs. In terms of handling, I don't think it's outright as good as the Tiguan. In terms of I think it's very similar to the CX-5 in fact, but the brakes are not modulated as well as be it the Tiguan or the CX-5. I think that's roughly how it drives. I'm going to continue another perspective later where you get to see the rear of the second row and the third row. Cheers! Okay guys, I was just shocked by something. It sounded as if, okay, this car looks like a spaceship, right? The interior looks like a spaceship, but it also does things that spaceship does. Let me show you this. I'm gonna open the doors now. I'm in drive. I kid you not. Okay. To be fair, it's dangerous to open the door when you're still in drive. Okay, to be fair, it's dangerous, and a lot of cars will give subtle warnings, right? They go like tung 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 tung, and minis will go like toot 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 toot. But this guy go full ball, toot 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 toot. Yeah, I like this car. I like it. It's a bit over sporty. I felt the steering is fast. It's a fast steering rack. The brakes as well, it responds very fast, so it's a bit choppy when you step on the throttle. Oh, Alfa Romeo broken by the roadside. Normal thing. Put you guys here. Sorry for that. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, there are two rows behind me. Hey, no, it's flattened down. Oops. Okay, let's go. It's powerful enough. 1.6 turbo, I think is powerful enough. The car moves. It can pick up. It can overtake cars. Brilliant. Just that some people might not be used to the small steering wheel, and yeah, I love the cabin. They put in a lot of effort in this car for the interior. There are a lot of cubby spaces. I tekan something. Sorry, I tekan something. I don't know what I tekan, but I tekan something. Yeah. It's a pity that it doesn't have a panoramic roof, but that's gonna make the car's cabin hotter. It's gonna cost more. I don't mind not having it actually, but I myself is someone, I don't know, as a car reviewer, I don't mind not having it, but as a person who buys cars, I would love for my car to have a panoramic roof. I would love to have it. And one thing that makes this car different from every other mid-size SUV out there is the second row, which I'm gonna show later what makes this different. And it's a very, very important thing, and it's something that European car makers always do very, very well. Yeah, it's the 3 individual seats that is absent from a lot of cars. Most cars, be it a Camry or an S-Class or a 5 Series or a CRV or whatever, the middle seat is the stepchild, right? It's the seat where you put people you don't like there, right? Because it's not a real seat, it's just a suggestion of a seat, and that one is it's not comfortable, it's a bump, you know. It's there so that the other two are seats. So, but in this car, it is a seat. So you have 3 individual separate seats for you in this car, and that makes a big difference, because on long distance journey, comfort is that helps a lot. Alright, let's do a walk around on this car. Alright, cheers. Hi guys, that's the interior of the 5008. As you can see, it is the same as the interior of the 3008. Alright, again, this is a beautiful, beautiful dashboard. I've said this, it is absolutely fantastic looking. Even the touch is very nice. The setting chrome materials here, the denim sort of cloth material here, and the standing screen, these toggle switches, the LCD screen over here, the really, really small steering wheel. See that? This steering wheel is tiny. It's one of the smallest steering wheels out there, and it's different in its application. This is not my line of sight. My line of sight is here. So you drive like this, and then you get to look at the speedo clusters without anything over it. Different user experience, but you can get used to it very quickly. The gear shifter is likewise BMW's gear shifter. I love it. Okay, it's very nice, and just press to hold it. These are what we call electronic shifters now. Start-stop button is here. There is a nice compartment at the back here. These buttons operate these. This one actually suggests the function. You press this, and then it will change the screen to this, and then you press this, and then you can do that. So actually these row of buttons are not needed, but they do it nonetheless because they're French. They felt it's good looking, they make it for you. Alright, the cup holders are over here. These are, so I like these because you can put stuffs over here, and this compartment also is good because they make use of the space. This doesn't look in place with this whole car. It just doesn't, the design doesn't look that it gels, but it's alright. This one is a traction control system for you to adjust for different road conditions, which I don't think Malaysians will touch it rather often. This one operates like the BMW ones, you know, and then you have a large compartment in here, very big, very large compartment, as you can see. Now, this is a Peugeot, this is not a BMW, so you're bound to see some, how do I put this? I cannot compare this car's fit and finish with the likes of a BMW, right? This is, at the end of the day, this is still a car that is priced around that of Fords and all that. But let me show you the effort they put in. Look at the design of the seat. Look at this. It looks very comfortable, right? You have the stitching, the piping there, and I can tell you it is comfortable. Okay, so this is the rear the visors. They're all littered. Very nice. Fuel level low. Should I off the car? Maybe I should. Okay, if not I couldn't reach back there later to the showroom because I just hijacked the car off the showroom. So that's the door panel. Very usable. Again, like I mentioned, it's slanted. Slanted means you'll be able to put taller bottles. Okay, this one goes all the way through, so I don't think Bing will like this. Okay, you see, it goes all the way through. Now, power seats, you get memory settings as well. Okay, let's look at the rear. You get blinds, something not common in this segment, I believe. And the seats, look at that. 1, 2, 3. 3 identically sized seats. So this means everyone is comfortable in this car. And look at this. I take off the carpet. There is a compartment here where you can put stuffs. This is very, very nice. Most car makers don't really bother about it, but they do it nonetheless. You see, I see a lot of effort being put into this car. Okay, 2 USB ports at the back here, aircon vents, and I like it when car makers put in effort to their cars. Okay, let me tuck this in. How do I do this? Okay, let me hold you guys. Now what I've just did is I adjusted the 3 rows to shift them up a bit so that you share some space with the 3rd row when you need to ferry someone. So now I'm in this mode whereby I optimize the 2nd row to give room to the 3rd row to be comfortable. Okay, so this is by no means the actual 2nd row leg room. So you get a tray back here, which is pretty nice. Okay, you get a lot of things with this car. Now, how do I... Sorry. Leg room is there. It's decent. I would say it's decent because I free up space for the 3rd row. So now I'm gonna go to the 3rd row. Okay, sorry. I haven't shown my headroom. Apologize. So this is my headroom. So again, I've shifted the seats up front a bit so that I get some headroom. For knee room for the 3rd row. Now let's go to the 3rd row. So this is how they shift for the 3rd row. I have no idea what is this. I'll check it out later. Now I move to the 3rd row. Now you can see as the 3rd rows are folded down, they fold flat into the floorboard. This is a very, very intricate design, and they put in effort and money to engineer all this. Okay, let me come into the 3rd row. Now I am by no means a small Asian. I am 5'11", so I am now in the 3rd row, given a humane amount of space. So this is a humane amount of space that was given by my front row passengers so that my knees actually get to be put properly. And then I want you to look at this. Look at the cutouts in the base of the seats. Those are really for you to put your feet in. If not, you won't be enough. You won't have space for that. So again, this is still a 5+2. Okay, this is still a 5+2, but the +2 is humanely plausible. Okay, for someone my size to go in. Again, these are cars for adults and kids, or adults and a lot of luggage room at the back. Okay, and I felt this car is more manly looking than the 3008 because of the squared off rear. It gives the car a character. See that? Looks good, huh? So yeah, if you're struggling whether you should get this or the 3008, I would get this because of the extra functionality, the bigger boot, the larger proportions of the car, and it has a little bit more presence. I felt this chunky rear end fits this car more than the slanted roof at the back. No doubt the slanted roof is beautiful, but I kind of felt this one looks manlier. Okay, I like all the lines that goes on. I like the color combinations that they came up with. I can't even pronounce this car. This color, I don't know, turquoise, and then you have one that is in olive green. So, and they give you good tires. Conti cross contact, lovely. Okay, so that's the Peugeot 5008. I think this is a good car, a very good car to buy. No doubt it wins European Car of the Year at that time because a lot of effort has been placed into this car. Cheers guys, bye. So yeah, in the mid-size SUV segment, if you ask me what are the good looking ones, okay, the handsome looking ones, definitely this guy and the 3008 is very good looking. And then you have the Mazda CX-5, of course, that is also a very good looking car. And you have the Mitsubishi Outlander. No doubts, that car is handsome. It is a handsome, very, very handsome looking car, and it's very spacious as well. It has I think it has the largest boot in its segment, that car. Yes, second row aircon. I know. Mitsubishi knows. Everybody knows. The whole Japan knows. Yes, we know. All right, but it's not like we were born with second row aircon vents, right? I wouldn't say that is something that makes or breaks a car, because it's perfectly usable as well. It doesn't drive as sharp as this guy or the Tiguan, okay? But it's a very, very smooth going mid-size 5+2 SUV as well. And then you have, who else? Koleos is already priced out of the question. Koleos is good looking, it's alright. It used to occupy the topmost segments of this, no, the top pricing ceiling of this segment, okay? But now I think that car has exceeded 200k, if I'm not wrong. So that is already belonging to another segment, I would say. Then who else in this segment? Tiguan drives very well. In terms of the design, I try my best to like it. It's still a little bit oddball for me. Not much. X-Trail, I know, 2 airbags. Everybody knows, the whole Japan knows. But seriously, 2 airbags? Seriously? I won't put my kids in that. Yeah. I won't put my kids into a car where I knowingly know, or that the car maker doesn't really care about the safety of them. So safety is a very, very, very important thing to me. Yeah. So yeah, that's the landscape of the mid-size SUV segment, and I think this is one of the very best in the segment. Okay, cheers. Okay, it has it's weird. Okay, it has a reverse camera and a sort of 360 cam that I cannot understand why is it displayed in that manner, but it looks like a 360 cam. But both are very, very low resolution. Are they usable? Yes, they are usable, but I just find it interesting. That means it doesn't have a front camera, or how? The 360 cam's perspective is a bit interesting. Anyway, it has a 360 cam, it has a reverse cam. Both are low res, but it works. I use it to park perfectly. Cheers!